Well, hey, what's up, everybody? Guess what? We're going to be talking about basically the 7 different types of ways to learn, and you will probably not know 5 of these. You'll probably know the first 2 common ones, but the 5, and I'll be talking more towards the end, so you want to stick to the end. So let's go ahead and talk about that right after this intro. Welcome back, my Optimal Mind performers, my Optimal Mind leaders. I am Dr. LeGrand. I grew up with ADHD and dyslexia, so I had a lot of challenges when it came to learning, when it came through school, middle school, high school, as well as college and medical school. But I learned these new techniques, these 7 different ways of actually learning, because the 2 common ones, which I'll talk about first, are the ones that are taught in school a lot. But these other 5, not so much. And when I learned these strategies, oh my goodness, it made a huge difference as far as what these types of learning types. And this will be a series because I'll actually talk about these other 5 more in depth. So let's first talk about the 2 common ones. So the very first one is linguistics. So this is a type of learning where people are really good when it comes to linguistics. So these are the people who can sit down in class and listen to a lecture and really grasp a lot of it. Or they can listen to books on tape and really grasp a lot of the information just listening to stuff, or even just written stuff, reading a book. These are what we call as the linguistics, and that's what's really ingrained in school a lot. It's because we teach that way by just teaching and people taking notes and also reading their textbooks. That's used a lot in school, college, medical school, whatever kind of school. They use that a lot. But guess what? Not a lot of people actually learn that way. And the second most common way is the mathematical, logical way of thinking. So this is also very common in school, is to be able to look at diagrams, to be able to look at things more of a logical perspective, to be able to make sense of the world or make sense of the concept by using mathematical equations or even just using diagrams and stuff like that. And again, people don't always necessarily learn this way, but they use those 2 most common, the linguistic and the logical and mathematical. They use in the school system, but only about 30% of the population even learn this way. And that's what makes it so difficult, because this whole concept actually comes from Colin Rose, a great psychologist. It's called the Accelerated Learning Book. And it was created by Colin Rose as well as Brian Tracy, who is known in more of the business and life improvement aspect of in the world. But these are the 7 kind of concepts of people, how they actually learn. And this is what Colin Rose, the psychologist, came up with, these kind of 7 different ways. It made a big difference in my life when it came to learning, because I struggled so much because I was trying to learn those 2 ways, as far as the linguistic as well as the mathematical logical way, because that's how most people learn, or at least most people are taught to learn. So the next one is what we call is more of the visual learner. And that's something that I am, a visual learner. So by using visual learning, and I'm going to go more in depth in series, I'll talk about these actually 5 in upcoming videos, but I just kind of want to get you an idea of these great 5 ways of other ways of learning. So the third way is visual learning. And by this is simply basically drawing things out and visualizing things to understand concepts, difficult concepts, by watching a movie or watching, looking at pictures and stuff like that to understand, or actually creating notes with pictures and visuals. That is more of a visual learner. And I'll dive more in depth in future videos. Now, the 4th type to actually learn is musical. So people can actually learn more musically. So these are things, that's why some people make rhymes when it comes to learning difficult chemical structure processes. Is what we did a lot in our biochemistry class, is to make up rhymes to memorize things because they were so difficult to remember. But when you turn into a rhyme, it's easy. So these are people who are more musically talented and can use these kind of things. And the 5th one is the interpersonal way of learning. Interpersonal means that you're very sociable. You like interacting with other people, and you like to work with other people as a team player. So maybe studying with somebody in groups, especially smart people, and to be able to kind of work with them to help you understand the concept and to talk it out and to teach it by using a lot of these other kind of senses in our body. Interpersonal is a great skill that you can use, and I'll talk more in my future videos how you can actually apply that. The 6th way is the intrapersonal. So that's more internally be able to actually use this intelligence for yourself for learning. And you're usually tend to be that person that's more of a daydreamer, which a lot of people with ADHD tend to kind of be like that, daydream a lot, and really think about their life a lot, and really kind of understand themselves more from a more internal perspective. And you can use that for learning by understanding your desires and actually grasping that towards learning. And I'll talk again more about that in other future videos. The seventh and final one is body or physical type of learner or intelligence. And this is by using more action. So whether it might be running while you're studying notes, by doing something physical can be helpful, or putting something together physically, trying to learn something, or using flashcards because you're physically actually moving them or putting them in different piles. That's a way to actually use bodily, physically learning actually strategies and tactics to be able to learn. So those are the 7 types of actually ways of learning. What are those 7 do you think you are? Put that in the comment section below. And like I said, I will actually be going in depth on those last 5 as far as what you can use to actually implement those types of strategies. And so if you are actually new here and actually want to subscribe to our channel, we talk everything about when it comes to ADHD health, also academic, tactics and strategies, as well as when it comes to personal development, work-life balance, work, strategies to become an entrepreneur. We talk about here also relationships. So it's all here to actually reach optimal mind performance. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button, and also give us a like if you like this video. Until next time, this is Dr. LeGrand signing out. And remember, you have an awesome mind. Thanks. Bye.